Our St. Louis Dragons have two massive games today, both on prime time, both against divisional rivals. It's not often that you find games back-to-back early in the schedule that have this much at stake, but it feels like that's the case for us today. You need all the wins you can get in the NFC West, seeing how competitive this division has been throughout this series. So I'm expecting a major challenge as we travel out to Seattle for Thursday Night Football, and then we play against the Niners on Monday night at home. Last episode, we won both games, beating the Lions, again on prime time, and then we beat the Eagles the following week in an offensive shootout. The team is currently 2-1 with some close finishes so far. The big story of the last episode was definitely the performance of Simeon Bonnet, who was on another planet. He's already matched his sack total from last year, getting 3 sacks in both games last episode, looking more like the dominant game wrecker we saw as a rookie rather than the inconsistent, injury-prone pass rusher we had last year. So it's great to have Simeon Bonnet back playing at such an elite level, winning us games on the defensive side of the football. As we take a look at our test today, Seattle's 2-1, the Niners are 1-2, but I'm not really worried about these teams' records because it's early in the season, and more so I recognize how good these two teams are, and we've had a lot of battles both with Seattle and the Niners that have ended up being very competitive and very tough. Not to mention, it's a short week, which neutralizes things a little bit. I think us already having a Thursday night game under our belt this year goes to our advantage because we've not only prepared for a short week, but we've won, given those circumstances, back in week 2 against the Lions. So I think we can do it again here against Seattle. We've got a QB1 check-in and a breakout wide receiver. I feel like these two kind of go hand in hand because they both have to do with the passing game. With Puma Whitlock, I think he's been really good so far through the first few weeks of the year, and he's a big reason why our offense has been successful. Whitlock is the leading passer in terms of yards in the NFL so far, and he's been really consistent all 3 games. He's thrown for at least 330 yards in all 3 matchups. He's thrown 2 touchdowns in each game. Now, I will say he was a little bit up and down early against the Raiders, but he played well down the stretch, and he's had back-to-back really strong performances. If there's one thing I want to see more of, I want him to pick it up on the ground. Last year, he started slow running the ball, but then picked it up as the year went along. We also have the breakout receiver. I'm curious to see which one it's going to be because I think there's an argument for Modelo, Weaver, or Williams. But based on the performance last week, I figured it's got to be J-Mo after how well he played against the Philadelphia Eagles. 8 catches for 130 yards and a score. So he has an opportunity to move up to Superstar X Factor. Let's take a look at the Seattle Seahawks. And I've really enjoyed having this team as a rival because I feel like every time we play against them, it's a really good game. They've still got Bryson Bawani at quarterback. He's had his ups and downs so far, but he's got a plethora of options on offense. Kenneth Walker always plays well against us. DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith-Njigba's a great duo. No more Tyler Lockett, though. Romeo Doubs and Zion Rose are the main third receivers. Seattle is a great secondary with a phenomenal corner duo and some good young safeties, and they've got some good players up front, like young pass rushers such as Rowanzo Sanders and Lance Sturlovich. Linebacker Devin Bush always plays well against us. So before we get started, I've got one more order of business, and that's involving the running back position. I think DeAndre Swift has played really well so far this year, but he ruptured his disc against the Eagles. He's going to be out for 5 weeks. And now we've got to figure out who's going to replace him. Darwin Juskins is going to be the main guy. We're going to see more Tornado Davis. We're going to see more Sean Tucker. But I think we need one more player in the backfield. I wanted to look at the practice squad, and we've got a number of really good options. Undrafted rookies Zeke Mosley and J.J. Booker, along with 6th-round draft pick Franklin Headliner, are all players I'm confident would be able to make an impact. I also wanted to look around the league in free agency or on the trade block, and there was one available option who really tempted me. Yes, he's 32 years old, but I think Derrick Henry's still got something left in the tank. The Titans let him go this past offseason, making Tyjae Spears the full-time workhorse back. Derrick Henry hasn't been picked up, but I think he's still got a little bit of juice left. Henry's play really hasn't been that bad over the last couple of seasons. He's been in a running back by committee with Spears and the Titans, but he's still been productive, averaging consistently over 4 yards a carry over the past few seasons, and I think he'll be able to make an impact. Malachi Turner will lose his spot on the roster. He will go to the practice squad. Now, Derrick Henry's not going to be the workhorse back, especially not here against Seattle. It's a short week. He's 32 years old. We need to get him acclimated. He's going to get some touches in this game, but not a ton. So you should still expect to see a lot of Darwin Juskins. It's a homecoming for him, by the way, having played at the University of Washington. And we should still see some Tornado Davis and some Sean Tucker as well. But it'll be nice to get Derrick Henry some looks as well. Let's hop into this game here on Thursday Night Football between two NFC West foes. The winner of this game will take first place in the division. Will it be the 2-1 St. Louis Dragons, winners of 2 in a row, or will it be the 2-1 Seattle Seahawks? More often than not, when we play against the Seahawks, it ends up being a really exciting, really thrilling game, and I'm expecting this one to be just as good. The Dragons will start on offense, 1st and 10 from the 35. Puma Whitlock looks to throw it. Under pressure, he is sacked. Jordan Brooks leads the way. Devin Bush as well with half a sack. The Dragons' offensive line's been up and down so far this year, hoping that they can have a good game today. 3rd down now. Puma under pressure on the run. Connects with Isaiah Likely for a 1st down. The intended target was Jamo, but Likely was also open. Now, unfortunately, this play's coming back. Puma Whitlock was past the line of scrimmage as he threw the ball. We were originally going to have Puma run, but once he saw those guys open, he decided to throw the ball. But unfortunately, he was past the marker, and that'll lead to a punt. Seattle now with the ball. Bwan connects with Noah Fant, the veteran tight end out of the University of Iowa, with a solid gain, bringing it to the 39. 2nd and 7 now for the Seahawks. They're moving it pretty well, nearing the red zone as it's a screen for DK Metcalf. Spins away from the defender and gets the 1st down. The odd thing about that play call is that they had ran that same screen to DK Metcalf 3 times in a row, and 3rd time ended up being the charm as they actually got a nice gain out of it. 1st and goal, pitch to the outside for Kenneth Walker with blocks. He's in, untouched for a Seattle Seahawks touchdown, and they lead at 7-0. A quick start for the Seahawks. They move down the field. They get some early points, and now the Dragons look to respond. It's a play action for Davis. Puma Whitlock on the run. Connects with Jamison Williams to the 47. Jamo needs a big day to complete that breakout challenge. It's going to be tough, so we're going to have to get him the ball early and often. Seattle doesn't seem to think he was in bounds, and I honestly think it's closer than it looks as first. But look how he drags the left foot inbounds before going down. Great footwork there by Jamison Williams. A really high IQ football play, and thus the catch will stand. 2nd and 11. Puma with a tough throw. It's hauled in for a 1st down by Arturo Modelo, the 2nd-year wideout out of the University of Miami. Puma sacked on 1st down. It's a linebacker blitz, and Jordan Brooks comes home. He has a sack and a half already here in the 1st quarter. 3rd and 12 now for the Dragons after the big defensive play. Puma looks to throw it quickly. It's incomplete for Jamison Williams, but there's a flag. Defensive pass interference called against Devin Witherspoon, the former top 5 draft pick, and that'll result in an automatic 1st down for the Dragons. That came late in that play, too. A costly penalty for the Seahawks. Up the middle, Puma connects with Griffin Weaver III, who's had a great start to his 3rd NFL season. Brings it to the 2. The Dragons have had trouble scoring in the red zone, though. 2nd and goal, it's Jamison Williams with the touchdown. And the St. Louis Dragons are on the board. We're tied at 7. Jamo needs 3 more touchdowns to complete the breakout challenge, or like 160 yards. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. Here's Bwan up the middle on the run. Whoop! Jukes away, but then fumbles it, and it's picked up by Okuda. The rookie safety, Jalen Bourgeois, with the hit, resulting in a fumble. This Dragons defense has been forcing fumbles left and right all season long. They forced 5, yes, 5 last week against the Eagles, only recovering 1 of them. But it's been fumble city with this Dragons defense as they force another one and are able to scoop it up. Here's Derrick Henry. His first run as a Dragon goes for a solid gain. Jamo's a little bit banged up. He'll be fine. But it's good to see Derrick Henry fighting for yards there. He looked good on that run. I know it's just 1 carry, but he does look like he's still got something left in the tank. 2nd and 2. Here's Puma up the middle. He connects with Griffin Weaver, who gets it to 27. For a slot receiver, it's definitely interesting that Weaver leads the team in yards per catch. He's been a surprisingly positive vertical presence to the offense. On third down, the pass is incomplete. Miscommunication between Puma Whitlock and Tykeem Keon Jr., and so Seattle gets the stop. Cameron Dicker, the kicker's field goal try from 41 is up and good. Dicker has not missed a field goal yet this season, although he did miss a PAT last week. And the Dragons take their first lead of the game. It's now 10-7. Seattle with it, 3rd and 8. Nice throw, and it's caught by Metcalf. A diving grab for DK as he gets the first down to keep the drive moving. Bryson Bowan's been really efficient so far today. He hasn't looked downfield a ton. He's been the point guard of this offense, really setting up his teammates nicely. Kenneth Walker with a juke, and he brings it inside the 40. Now the veteran Grady Jarrett is banged up. Luckily, he should be A-okay as well. 3rd and 1 with around 3 to go here in the first half from the 30. Bowan looks to throw. It goes short for Walker, and he breaks the tackle from Cam Lucifer and barely gets the first down before being sent down by Devin White. Cam Lucifer's been really good this year, but, man, you've got to make that tackle. Following play, Bowan under pressure. He's sacked. Devin White leads the charge along with Joseph Osai for half the sack. As good as Devin White has been throughout this series, this season he's taken it another level. He's been even better. 3rd and 12, a dime up the middle for a first down. It's Zion Rose, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Big throw from Bryson Bowan. 3rd and 10, clock is ticking. Minute and a half to go here in the first. 10-7. We'll see what Bowan and Seattle have up in store as they look to chew clock. They don't want the Dragons to have much time. Short throw is caught by Fan, and he's pushed out of bounds quickly by Samasoni Soluni, who had 3 forced fumbles a week ago in the win against the Eagles. Simeon Bonnet with a ton of pressure there on 3rd down. Could have got the sack if he didn't trip over himself. Field goal try is good for the Seahawks, and this game is tied at 10. We'll see if the Dragons can look to take the lead here before the end of the half. They've got 40 seconds and 2 timeouts. Puma's sacked again. These linebacker blitzes have been really impactful for Seattle, and Puma Whitlock's a little bit banged up. Chance Matsumolo in the game as he's just going to hand it off for Tornado Davis. He's got a block and a big run. The Dragons were waving the white flag as soon as they knew Puma got hurt, but now Tornado Davis gives them life. Puma Whitlock is back in the game. He suffered a hip pointer, clearly going through some pain, but he's going to tough it out. Puma looking for the sideline. It's caught by Modelo, and that'll certainly bring the Dragons into field goal range. Again, this play will be reviewed by the booth. I think he did get both feet in bounds. Puma's accuracy outside the numbers this year has been really, really impressive, showing it here. Modelo definitely drags both feet inbound, so that'll be a first down. And as long as the Dragons don't completely mess this drive up with a turnover or screw up the clock, they should have the lead going into half. Puma under pressure, sacked again. The 4th sack of the half for Seattle, and now that really changes things. 2nd and 20, out of field goal range. What do? The Dragons are going to quickly look out of bounds, as Likely is tackled inbounds by Seattle. Are the Dragons going to have enough time to run another play? They got to figure out what they're doing quickly. Puma's got to hike the ball, and he doesn't. So the sack proves to be a massive blow for the Dragons, along with Isaiah Likely staying inbounds on that 2nd down reception. And that'll wrap up the first half. We are tied at 10. Really feels like the Dragons should have gotten the lead there, but unfortunately they were unsuccessful. Let's take a look at our halftime report around the league. Unfortunately, no highlights because, well, there's nothing to show. This is the first game of the week. There are some very intriguing matchups on the schedule. That Niner-Falcon game should be a lot of fun. Atlanta, obviously, we know they're a great team. They beat us last year in the playoffs, nearly made the Super Bowl. If the Niners lose that, they'll fall to 1-3 ahead of their matchup with us. The Cowboys and Rams should be a lot of fun as well. Obviously, Dallas, the reigning champions. The Rams have also started kind of slowly. They are 1-2 as well, and they are certainly needing a win. The Minnesota Vikings have been the biggest surprises of the league this year. They're 3-0, and they've got a big test on Sunday Night Football against the reigning AFC champion Jaguars. As we go into the second half, I want to see more from the passing game. I think we've thrown the ball solidly, but we also only have 10 points. And then defensively, Seattle's really won with this short to intermediate game. Bryson Bowan has been really steady and efficient, and I worry that they'll be able to get more than 10 points here in the second half as a result, as he fires for Noah Fant, who gets the first down despite pretty good coverage by Devin White. 3rd and 7 now for Seattle. They've got it right around midfield as Buon looks to throw it, and his pass is incomplete, tipped away by Saluni. So the defense gets the stop. That'll force a punt, and now the Dragons get the ball here on offense, starting at the 17-yard line as Lorenzo's in motion. Derrick Henry's in the backfield, and he gets the rock. Here's Henry with blocks down the field. I don't think anyone's going to catch him. A big run here for Derrick Henry as eventually Seattle matches him at the 15. What a run for Derrick Henry, gaining 68 yards in just his second carry as a Dragon. He gets a big gain of nearly 70. On third down, Jamison Williams nearly gets to first. That'll make it a 4th and inches, and the offense is going to stay on the field. The Dragons are going to be aggressive and go for it. Ballsy decision here with a tie game. Puma looks to throw it. It's caught short by the big man, Morgan Moses, with the first down. A big man play on 4th down, no less. That is risky. The Dragons still having trouble punching it in, though. 3rd and goal from the 1. Puma escapes in the pocket, and he walks it in for a touchdown. And so the Dragons are back on top, but not for long. I think this one's coming back. It's going to be a holding call against Zach Tom, who we gave big money to in the offseason. 3 years, $25 million. I feel like he's been kind of underwhelming so far, and now that penalty takes a touchdown off the board. 3rd and goal at the 10 after the holding as the pass is incomplete. Jamison Williams, the intended target. Devin Witherspoon saying he's too short, which is ironic because I think Jamo's 2 or 3 inches taller than him. That'll bring out the field goal team. There's no kick meter for Dicker, and he misses it wide to the left. Cameron Dicker's clearly got the yips or something. Definitely an odd drive, and it ends up with no points, and the game is still tied. What's happening with Cameron Dicker? Why couldn't he kick there? So we're still tied at 10. Wide open in the flats is the fullback. Nobody covered him. Fullbacks are people too, baby. Big first down for the Seahawks. 2nd and 1 now from around the 45. They're looking pretty solid on this drive as it's Kenneth Walker with blocks. Breaks the tackle from Okudah, and he's chased from behind by Simeon Bonnet, but not before bringing it to the 43 for a big gain. 2nd and 2 now with 3 to go here in the 3rd. It's another handoff for Walker with so much space up the middle. He is hit hard by Saluni, but not before getting another first down. Kenneth Walker's already well over 100 yards. He is playing out of his mind tonight for Seattle, so it's only fitting that he's got an open lane here. Breaking tackles now, in for a touchdown. His 2nd of the ball game. And the Seattle Seahawks are back on top. They lead at 17-10 with a big drive from K9. So the Dragons are down by 7, and now they've got to respond. They've had some solid drives that just haven't ended up in points. On 3rd down, Puma under a ton of pressure. Hit as he throws incomplete. Uchenna Nwosu leads the way in the backfield, and so that'll lead to a punt. Seattle with good field position, the lead, and the ball here in the 4th quarter. Buon under pressure. He connects for a first down with Rose, who is lit up by Jeff Okudah as the rookie guard, Rudig Salamone, is hurt. Salamone was their first-round picks, drafted 1 spot before the guard we drafted, Somandre Mack, and Rudig Salamone's had an awesome game today for Seattle. Walker going backwards. He's wrapped up there on 2nd down by Javon Kinlaw. Good to see him healthy, making plays. Normally, he's not healthy, so it's nice having him in the lineup. 3rd and 8. Buon looks to throw it under pressure, rolls out to the left, and he is sacked on the play. It's actually not going to be reviewed as a sack. It'll be ruled as a run, not gaining anything. Devin White, who would have guessed, makes the play, and that'll bring out the field goal team. This is a long one, 55-yard try here for Myers. It's up, and it's no good. Wide left. Both kickers have missed here in the second half. One slightly less embarrassing than the other, and so it remains a 1-score game, now 17-10. The Dragons get the ball with really good field position off the missed kick, nearing midfield with a real chance to tie it up. Puma goes short for Isaiah Likely, and he gets the first down, bringing it to around the 33. Really good start to the drive. The Dragons already in field goal range, but I imagine they're looking for more than 3. First down now at the 33. Puma looks to throw it, going short. Again, it's Arturo Modelo with another nice play after the catch as he's out of bounds at the 18-yard line. And within 2 plays, the Dragons are already in the red zone. But this is where this offense struggles. They've got to punch it in and tie it. 2nd and 7. Puma goes short. It's Darwin Juskins who gets it to the 4-yard line. And now St. Louis is inching closer and closer to the end zone. 2nd and goal for the Dragons. Puma looks to throw it, has room, and Puma Whitlock is in for a rushing touchdown. No holding this time. We're knotted up at 17. A big drive for Puma Whitlock and the offense. The question is, does Cam Dicker still at the yips? No, thank God. So the game is now actually tied. I kind of jumped the gun there after the touchdown. But luckily, it seems like Dicker's issues are gone. So Seattle has it back. Tie game, 5 minutes to go. Can the Seahawks offense drive down the field and potentially win the game? Bourne goes downfield. It's caught by Romeo Doubs. He brings it past midfield to the 45-yard line. Big gain for Seattle. They're already not too far away from field goal range. 1st and 19, though, after a penalty against the Seahawks. Bourne looks to throw it. He's under pressure, and he is sacked. Fumbles it, and it's picked up by the defense. It's Javon Kinlaw with nobody in front of him. He'll take it all the way for a big man touchdown. A scoop and score for Javon Kinlaw to put the Dragons ahead late. If it stands, that is a massive play for the defense. So as we look at this one again, the strip sack was made by DeJuan Overton, the third-year pro out of Auburn. I'm not sure if Bourne was down before the ball came out. That's going to be really close. As we look at the replay, though, right there, ball's out. That's a fumble. A strip sack for Overton, a scoop and score for Kinlaw, and the Dragons take the lead, 14 points within the last 2 minutes. So now Seattle's down, and they've got to get a big drive. Here's the tight end, Houston Maverick, with a nice first down, quickly wrapped up by Chuck Reed. Following play from the 44 with under 4 to go. Bourne hands it off for Kenneth Walker, breaks a tackle. Here's Walker with a nice juke move. He gets the first down. Just because Seattle's trailing doesn't mean they should stop leaning into the run. Kenneth Walker's been the best player on the field tonight, and they need to continue to utilize him. 3rd and 5. Big throw up the middle from Bourne. That'll go for a first down into the hands of Zion Rose, who gets Seattle in the red zone. Now at the 2-minute warning, another big third down, this time 3rd and 3 from the 12. It's a screen. Kenneth Walker catches it. He gets the first down to around the 6. Big conversion here for Seattle, and now I'm curious to see how they manage the clock. There's no reason for them to be in any rush. 1st and goal from the 6. Bourne under pressure, and he is thrown down to the ground by Owen Popo. It doesn't lose him any yards, but it still goes into the books as a sack. 2nd and goal now at the 6. Bourne calls an audible. He hands it off for Kenneth Walker. He gets through defenders, breaks a tackle, and that's a hat trick. 3 touchdowns on the ground for Kenneth Walker III, and the Seattle Seahawks tie it at 24. Puma Whitlock's at his best when the moment's the biggest, when the lights are the brightest, and with 1 minute and 2 seconds, along with all 3 timeouts, he's got an opportunity to lead his team down the field for the win. On first down, he's got open rushing room, gets the first down to the 35. The Dragons would not call a timeout, trying to hold on to them for as long as they can. Following play, here's Puma. He's got more room up the middle. Instead, he's going to throw it. It's caught by Tykeem Keon Jr., who brings it to midfield, and the Dragons are going to use their first timeout. They're not too far away from field goal range. All they need is 3 points to win the game, but with Cam Dicker's miss earlier today, you never know. 2nd and 10 up the middle. Jamison Williams with a first down to the 37, and the Dragons called their second timeout. They've still got one more in their back pocket. I think they're still going to play for the touchdown, though, not entirely trusting Dicker. As on first down, it is caught. JMO should have let that one go. That would have stopped the clock. Instead, they've got to use their last timeout. They're going to keep the offense out on the field. Got to go for a quick play out of bounds or a shot for the end zone as he's nearly sacked. Lets it fly incomplete. Good coverage by Witherspoon. Puma knew he had to get that ball out. You absolutely cannot let there be a sack. 3rd and 7 now. Puma under a ton of pressure, goes deep for Modelo, and again it's broken up. 4th and 7 from the 33 with 5 seconds to go. It's a 50-yard try here for Cameron Dicker as the Seahawks are going to call a timeout, looking to ice him. Here we go for the win. Dicker missed one earlier. We'll see if he can make it from 50. It's up, and it is no good. He missed it. That kick looked like it was good, and then it starts to curve left, and it just barely misses. It had the distance, but again, wide left. There's still a second left on the clock, so Seattle's going to have enough time to run a Hail Mary here. Assuming it doesn't work, it looks like we'll be headed to overtime for the first time this season. Bourne from the 30. He gets it all the way to the end zone. It is incomplete, but there's a flag. Hold on. This changes everything. Defensive pass interference against Jalen Bourgeois. Seattle gets one more play at the 1, and they can kick a field goal for the win. Jason Myers with an 18-yarder. It is good, and the Seahawks win in regulation. What just happened? I mean, I don't know what to say there. I do not agree with that call by the officiating crew one bit. In a Hail Mary like that, you just gotta let them play. There's gonna be contact from both sides on a Hail Mary, so it kind of evens out like that. You can easily make the argument that if we played a little bit better and the game wasn't this close, we wouldn't have put ourselves in a position where Seattle can win it with a Hail Mary. And yes, that is true, but the officials basically decided the game. It's just like the Lions game on Saturday, where the officiating crew decided the game off of a mistake that they clearly made. I will say I was really impressed with Bryson Bourne. I thought he was honestly better than Puma Whitlock today. Super efficient, didn't make any mistakes, at least throwing the ball. He did fumble it twice, though. As for Puma, he had his worst game of the year, which doesn't really say much, but he was not all that great today. Not a ton of big throws, missed some passes. On the ground, Kenneth Walker was an animal. He was electric. 29 carries for $168 and 3 touchdowns. Shout out Derrick Henry. He had a big run. He finishes with like 20-something yards per carry. Jambo had a good game. He did not complete the breakout challenge, though, unfortunately. 13 pancakes for Rudy Salamone. Dear Lord. I can eat a lot of pancakes in one sitting, but I don't know about 13. Defensively, Vita Vea and Jordan Brooks lead the way. Brooks with 3 TFLs and 2.5 sacks. And then shout out Overton and Bourgeois with the 2 forced fumbles. No shout out for Cameron Dicker, though. We left 6 points off the board. Seattle also left 3. But if Cameron Dicker makes that second kick, we win the game. It's really that simple. So an unfortunate loss there in a game that we really should have won. And even if you take out the final seconds with the missed field goal and the Hail Mary penalty, I feel like we were still the better team. We just shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times. Good teams need to win good games like that, and we played a pretty good game for the most part. It wasn't necessarily a clean one. Puma Whitlock and the offense didn't look their best, but I still feel like we were a little bit better than them, and unfortunately we don't get the win. Let's take a look at the scores around the rest of the league. Some interesting results here for sure. The Niners do end up losing to Atlanta. They are now 1-3. The Vikings got blown out by Jacksonville. I guess they are not for real. Players of the week, Kenneth Walker, obviously very well deserved. Joe Burrow, Tyrann Mathieu, and Roquan Smith. That'll bring us into Week 5, Monday Night Football. There is a lot at stake here in this game against the 49ers, who are 1-3. They cannot afford to lose another game with how competitive this conference is and with how competitive this division is. The Niners have had some tough matchups so far this year, and the big surprise is that their defense has really been struggling, so hopefully our offense can have a nice day. They have 5 consecutive primetime games coming up, including another Monday night game with us in Week 9 at their place. We humiliated the Niners twice last year on their home turf, once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. You have to assume these guys have had this game circled on their calendar ever since the schedule was released. They are going to really not want to lose this game after getting embarrassed by us twice last year. And if you add in the fact that they're 1-3 and needing a win, you're not going to find much of a bigger chip than the Niners have on their shoulder. We already know this roster super well. We played against them 3 times during the back half of last year. These guys need no introduction. Pretty much the same squad as last year. Brock Purdy, Offensive Player of the Year Deebo Samuel, and multiple elite players on the defensive side of the ball. This is a massive game with a lot at stake. Neither of these teams want to lose again. The Niners cannot afford to fall to 1-4. Even with teams as good as San Francisco, 1-4 is a really tough hole to dig out of. And NFL teams historically have not been able to, especially in a division as good as ours. This is the second home primetime game in team history. The first one was, ironically, Monday Night Football in Week 5 last year against the Texans, and it ended up being rainy. And today it's rainy. Can we have a nice weather game for primetime, please? So the Dragons are going to start with the ball. 3rd and 15. What a throw by Puma Whitlock, connecting with Griffin Weaver for the first down. Our offense really struggled to stretch the field vertically last week, so it's good to see Puma looking downfield, making plays early with Weaver. On first down, here's Puma under pressure. He is sacked by the big defensive tackle, Javon Hargrave, who beats the rookie Sabandre Mack on the rep. Left tackle, Jedrick Wills, is back in the lineup after missing the last 3 games. That's pretty exciting, as Darwin Juskins only gets 1 on the screen, and he's hurt. So DeAndre Swift, as we know, is injured. Now Juskins is banged up, and this running back room very quickly is looking depleted. San Francisco with their opening drive, 3rd and 6. Purdy under pressure, and he is incomplete. That's the rookie, Nnamdi Sanaga, in the backfield. He's been out the last 3 weeks with injury, but he is back healthy. Young linebacker Jabril Fofana, who's also been out the last 3 weeks, is also back healthy. 3rd and 3. Derrick Henry loses 3, wrapped up by Laverne Stun. So the Dragons go to King Henry. I definitely expect him to get the ball more today than he did last week, but that decision backfires. Defensive start up to this point as Purdy connects up the middle with Yami Ooster-Swan for the first down, bringing it to the 47. Now at the 40, Niners offense is starting to look good here. 2nd and 2, short throw caught by the All-Pro George Kittle. He's now in his 30s, one of the older players in the league, but he's still getting the job done as one of the best players at his position in the National Football League. 2nd and 10 with 2 to go in the quarter. Pass is caught. That's Jumani Kaur, the second-year receiver out of the University of Kentucky, a player who I think is really, really talented, and the Niners are very excited to build around. 3rd and 4, under a minute left in the first quarter. Purdy's pass is caught for a score by Deebo Samuel. Deebo caught an NFL record 25 touchdowns a season ago, and he's got the first one here to put the Niners on top 7-0. Dragons back with it. Here's Tornado Davis up the middle with a nice run. Davis had his fair share of ups and downs last year, but with this opportunity of getting more carries, I've been impressed with him. He's played really well, looking like he's going to keep a role on this offense even when the running backs are healthy. Puma's pass is intercepted on 3rd and 3. The reigning Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jalen Fox, with the play and a big return, gaining 41 before he's pushed out of bounds by Puma Whitlock. A costly turnover there for Puma. His 3rd interception he's thrown this year, the first one since week 2. And the Niners get it with plus field position. McCaffrey fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by Jalen Bourgeois. Another fumble forced by the defense, and St. Louis will get it right back on offense. In real time, I thought McCaffrey was down, but after looking at the replay, that was a fumble, and the Dragons get the ball back. Here's Weaver, wide open, pushed out of bounds by Diamador Lenoir, but not before getting the first. 3rd and 1 now for the Dragons. We'll see if they can punch in a short conversion as it's a handoff up the middle for Derrick Henry. Breaks a couple tackles, and this time he does get the first down. Nice run there for the King, who already has more touches than he did last week against Seattle. Definitely has less yards, though. Another 3rd and short pass is caught by Likely, who does not get the first down. Big tackle there by Jalen Fox. That'll make it a 4th and inches. And the Dragons are going to gamble. They will keep the offense out on the field and go for it. It's a pitch to the outside, and Davis gets the first down. A lot of trust put into Tornado Davis to get the conversion, but he does, and then some, as he continues to play well. Under 4 to go in the half. Short throw is caught by Isaiah Likely, and he brings it to the 1. A nice play there by the Dragons offense. Good conversion for Likely. But again, much as it's been throughout the season, the Dragons are struggling to punch it in. 3rd and goal. Davis does not get it, and he's banged up now. Darwin Juskins is hurt. Tornado Davis is hurt. DeAndre Swift already isn't playing. The Dragons are down to 2 healthy running backs right now with Derrick Henry and Sean Tucker. 4th and goal at the 2. The offense will stay on the field. They go for it. Puma looks to throw it, and he connects for a touchdown with Arturo Modelo. It's Modelo time, everybody. The Dragons tie it at 7. What a great play there by Puma Whitlock. He didn't find his initial reads to be open, so rather than panic and scramble, he waits in the pocket. He eventually finds Modelo open, and he makes a great throw. If this was rookie Puma Whitlock, I don't think he makes that play, showing the development he's made throughout his NFL career. Here's a nice run by Christian McCaffrey to the 31. McCaffrey's the oldest starting running back in the NFL, but he has not lost a step really whatsoever. Purdy sacked on 2nd down. Half a sack for Simeon Bonnet. He now has 6.5 on the year. And half a sack for the rookie out of Washington, Nnamdi Sanaga. His first NFL sack. Both Bonnet and Sanaga with great pressure on that play, and it's now 3rd and 11. The Niners are not going for any funny business. They run it with McCaffrey, who nearly gets for first. Great tackle by Demore Diggins to stop him from getting the conversion. Diggins has had his ups and downs, but that was a big-time tackle, potentially leaving points off the board for San Francisco had they gotten the first down. So now the Dragons have it back on offense, looking to take the lead as JMO is flipped over, but not before gaining around 12. Dragons with 2 timeouts and around 40 seconds left in the half. 3rd and 10. Puma under pressure, rolls out to the right, looking downfield. It is broken up. Isaiah Likely had it in his hands, but Kevin Byard jars it away. So now the Niners have it back, still tied at 7. Will San Francisco try to score before the end of the half? They do, as McCaffrey loses 4 on the screen. He's wrapped up by Devin White, and I think San Francisco is going to wave the white flag. And that'll do it for the first half. A low-scoring defensive battle. The weather clearly making an impact as this game is tied at 7. Let's take a look at our halftime report. Again, no highlights because this time all the games are done already. Some interesting results, though, I want to look over as the Rams and Seattle, the other 2 teams in our division, both play each other, and the Rams get the win. So both LA and Seattle are now 3-2. If we win, we would join them tied for first place in the division, although we would technically be in 3rd because Seattle has the tiebreaker over us right now, and the Rams get the tiebreaker over them. In a Super Bowl rematch on Sunday Night Football, the Jaguars get revenge over the Dallas Cowboys, 21-13. Not quite enough revenge to avenge the Super Bowl, per se, but it's something. As we go into the second half, I really like what we've done on the ground. I feel like we've tried to set the tone there, and it's worked. But we need more from the passing game. Puma Whitlock has a passer rating of 0 in the intermediate area of the field. And then defensively, we've got to stop McCaffrey. We lost last week because we couldn't stop Kenneth Walker. If we can't stop him, how are we supposed to stop CMC? Make Brock Purdy beat us, because when we've played the Niners throughout this series, Purdy's been unable to do that. That might be the worst play I've ever seen. I don't know what's more embarrassing, Devin White completely missing the sack, or Brock Purdy completely missing what would have been a 30-yard pass. Yuck. 3rd and 5 now. Purdy again looks to throw it, and it is caught for a first down by Oosterswan. Quickly hit by Jeff Okudah. And Ohio State on Ohio State crime. 2nd and 10 now for the Niners after the conversion. Purdy in shotgun, looks to throw it, has time, surveys the field, and he fumbles it, and it's picked up by the defense. Nnamdi Sanaga recovers. Take a guess at who made the force. It's Devin White. He's been flying all over the field throughout the season. He's been a Defensive Player of the Year candidate for the first month of the year, as has Simeon Bonnet. Another close one, but I think that ball is out. After forcing 5 fumbles in Week 3 against the Eagles, we have forced and recovered multiple over the last 2 weeks. And now Darwin Juskins fumbles it on the first play of the drive, and it's picked up by the Niners. So St. Louis forces a fumble. They get the ball for 1 play. But it might not have actually been a fumble. As we take a look at the replay, that's kind of the bad angle. The official was in the way. This one's going to be better. As you can see, Darwin Juskins is down before the ball comes out. That will not be a fumble, and the Dragons get lucky. But they do have a 3rd and 22 after a penalty. Here's Puma looking up the middle for Jamison Williams. He gets the first down. Again, vertical presence. Good to see Puma looking downfield with a big play on 3rd and very long. 2nd and 5. Here's Henry with a nice run. Breaks a tackle. into the red zone, and Jesus Christ, now he is hurt. Every running back is dinged up except for Sean Tucker. Now, luckily, none of the running backs have serious injuries. Obviously, Darwin Juskins is back in the game. He had the near fumble. Tornado Davis is healthy enough to play as well. 2nd and 9. Here's Puma up the middle. He's got Arturo Modelo, who nearly scores for a second time today, but he does bring it to the 2 for a first down. Look at all that space in the middle of the field. So much room for Darwin Juskins to run. That's about as easy of a touchdown as you'll see. Plenty of space for him to move, and the offensive line does the rest. Darwin Juskins is able to walk the red carpet, and the Dragons take their first lead of the game. It's now 14-7. San Fran back with it. McCaffrey in motion. Lions out as a receiver here on 2nd and 7. Purdy looks to throw it. He's intercepted! Demore Diggins picks it off. And the Dragons will get excellent field position. Unfortunately, Trajan Bleichenden is now banged up. The Dragons have had a lot of very small injuries today. Still, a big turnover by Diggins, who's played an awesome game. 2nd down, here's Darwin Juskins with room. Big run for Juskins. He brings it to the 6. A massive play there for the Dragons as they look to add to this lead. 1st and goal for St. Louis. Puma looking short. It's Juskins. He's in for his 2nd touchdown of the quarter. Back-to-back easy red zone trips. Man, life is good. 2 touchdowns today now from scrimmage for Darwin Juskins. 1 rushing, 1 receiving. And the Dragons lead 21-7. Niners got some work to do after allowing 2 fast touchdowns. There's Yami Ooster-Swan with the first down, gaining around 13. Following play from the 35, Purdy appears to be calling an audible. The $100 million plus man gets it to McCaffrey, who loses 2. Joseph Osai leads the way. He's a little bit banged up, though, after the tackle. 3rd and 5. 3 and change to go here in the 3rd. Purdy looks to throw it under pressure from the rookie Sanaga as he connects with Jumani Kaur for the first down of the 46. Nice play there by the Niners to keep things going as they get it past midfield. San Francisco knows they need to score here. They can't let the Dragons continue to get momentum. Up the middle, it's George Kittle, gets by Lucifer, breaks another tackle, and is eventually wrapped up by Demore Diggins, but not before bringing it to the 23-yard line for a gain of 23. 3rd and 9 now. Purdy looks to throw it for the sticks. It's Kittle again who gets the first down, gaining around 9 or 10, bringing it to the 12-yard line. The Niners in the red zone. They can make it a 1-score game here. Purdy looking for the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. Jumani Kaur with the score. Hey, that rhymed. And it's a 1-possession ball game, 21-14. And now the Dragons will look to respond. Puma looks to throw it. Goes short for Arturo Modelo. He gets around 9 or 10. Fumbles it. And it's picked up by the Niners. Javon Hargrave with the recovery. It's Byard with the force. Now the question is, was Modelo down? From that angle, it looked like he was. And so I would expect this play to be reviewed again. The Dragons have already had 1 fumble called back. Now, if this play stands, it completely changes the game because the Niners are going to get great starting field position with a chance to tie it. But luckily for us, I don't think that's going to be the case. Modelo looked like he was down right there. Yeah, he is certainly down by contact before the ball comes out. It is close, though. It did look like he was starting to lose a little bit of control, but I don't think that's enough evidence to call it a fumble. And indeed, the play is reversed, and the Dragons will keep possession of the football. Final play of the 3rd quarter. Here's Puma under a ton of pressure, looking to scramble and run. Big gain out of bounds inside the 50 to 43. A strong 3rd quarter for the Dragons. They lead by 7 with the ball. We'll see if they can hang on for the win. 3rd and 1. It's going to be a backwards pass and a fumble. Picked up by Deommodore Lenoir. Can Jamison Williams catch him? He does not. A scoop and score. San Francisco ties it up. What on earth happened there for that play to be so poorly executed? That was supposed to be an RPO with a screen for Modelo. Puma Whitlock, as he threw the pass, did not know that Modelo was going to be running right towards him. So it's a backwards pass resulting in a scoop and score touchdown. I fully blame this on Arturo Modelo. That was supposed to be a screen. Why was he running towards the line of scrimmage? He needs to get open, stop running, and catch the ball. Clearly a miscommunication there in terms of what play it was, and this game is tied up. Massive blunder by the young wideout. Good first down run for Juskins, but now he's hurt again, straining his quad. He will likely be out for the rest of the game. Derrick Henry is pretty much out for the game as well. So it's going to be the Tornado Davis show with sprinkles of Sean Tucker as well. 2nd and 1, play action for Davis. Puma has likely opened for a touchdown, but he was off balance as he was throwing the ball. Had he been able to set his feet, that's 6. 3rd and 1 now from around the 22-yard line. Puma, play action again. Rolls out to the right, and he connects with Isaiah Likely for the first down, gaining around 9 or 10. Big conversion there for the talented young tight end. 2nd and 3 now. Dragons with it inside the 10 at the 6. Puma under pressure, incomplete. He throws it away. They're going to call that an intentional grounding, though. A giant penalty forced from the pass rush, leading to Puma Whitlock having to throw it away. And now it's a 3rd and 13, which completely changes things. Here's Puma looking for Weaver. It's caught for a gain of 8 or 9, but we've got another flag. Late hit on the quarterback. Automatic first down. A costly penalty against the rookie Carmelo Finnegan, Puma's former teammate at Ohio State. And now the Dragons had the ball at the 3-yard line, but they're having trouble punching it in. Deja vu. 3rd and goal. Davis loses a yard. It's Fred Warner who brings him down, and now the Dragons have a tough decision. If it's 4th and goal at the 1 or 2-yard line, you easily go for it. If it's 4th and goal at the 6 or 7, you obviously kick it. But at the 4, it's like, what do you do? The field goal unit's on the field. I will point out that normally Chance Matumolo is the holder. Instead, it's Puma Whitlock. Watch for the fake. Well, the Dragons aren't even going to snap the ball in time, so any hope of them going for it here on 4th is essentially toast. They don't even get the field goal off in enough time, and now we will never know if that play was supposed to be a fake or not. So now it's backed up at the 9. Still a chip shot, though. 26-yarder for Dicker. His kick will doink in, and it's good. Oh, my goodness. That was a close one from 26. He nearly missed it, but a lucky bounce off the left upright puts the Dragons ahead. It's been a shaky couple weeks for Cameron Dicker, I must say. 3-point game. Niners get it back with a chance to tie or take the lead. And under 5 minutes to go, let's see if they can do it. McCaffrey on first down, loses a yard. Devin White brings him down. I think Devin White leads the NFL in tackles by about 20. He has been an absolute menace, flying around the field. 2nd and 11, Purdy has Kittle on the wheel route. A busted coverage as Kittle burns the young corner, Ronrakis Barber. 2nd and 1, 3.5 minutes to play now at midfield. Purdy looking short. It's Kittle again. He's had a big second half, bringing it to the 39-yard line. A nice conversion there for San Fran. Kittle with some words after the play to Cam Lucifer. Following play, Purdy under pressure. He's sacked. DeMore Diggins has had the best game of his pro career. Multiple big tackles. He had the interception earlier. Now a gigantic sack on the slot corner blitz. 2nd and 17 after the sack. Purdy looks to throw it under pressure. He's brought down again. Bonnet leads the way with the pressure, and that leaves Devontae Wyatt with space to get home. Back-to-back plays with sacks for the Dragons, who only had 1 sack on the day prior to those 2, and it's now 3rd and 25. The Niners are going to run a screen. No time as Wyatt is in the backfield again. What do you do here if you're the Niners? Personally, I think I would punt it. Trust the defense to get a stop, but they're going to go for it. 4th and 25. What does Shanahan have up his sleeve? It's a screen. On 4th and 25. I have no words. What an abysmal play call by Kyle Shanahan, and now the Dragons can win this game. Puma on the first play of the drive goes downfield. It's Jamison Williams to the 17, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. The Dragons look to finish off the job here, 3rd and 6, with the game on the line. After a couple runs on 1st and 2nd down, it's a play-action pass. Puma connects with JMO, and that should do it. And I say should because on one of the plays after that, the Dragons knelt the ball too early. So because of that, here on 4th and goal, the play clock is ahead of the game clock. So now they have to run another play. They're going to go for it here, presumably look to score a touchdown. Puma could just run backwards and throw the ball away, but they will look to score. And Puma's going to run it in for a touchdown, and now that should do it. That was a great play there by Puma Whitlock. Yes, he could have ran backwards and threw it away late, but the Dragons wanted no funny business. Instead, Puma walks it in himself. He was so patient on that play, waiting for something to open up. None of the receivers did, but a rushing lane did. Again, if this was rookie Puma Whitlock, he probably panics and scrambles, but he was patient. He takes his time, picks his spot, makes the play, and that'll do it. The Dragons win it 31-21 here on Primetime Monday Night Football over the San Francisco 49ers. And the Dragons have now beaten San Fran 3 times since like week 12 of last year. Impressive stuff. Again, it wasn't the prettiest game, but a win's a win, especially on primetime in the rain against the division rival. I thought Puma Whitlock had a pretty solid game. Statistically, not as impressive as his first 3, but he was accurate. He had some big throws. Yes, the interception was bad, but other than that, not a lot of bad throws. Purdy's numbers were really similar, but I feel like something was missing with him. He missed a lot of throws, like a lot of easy throws. McCaffrey was pretty solid on the ground. As for us, full-on running back by committee. We had 5 guys with at least 4 touches, partly because of all the injuries that happened today. We had 3 running backs get hurt with Davis, Juskins, and Derrick Henry, but also that's just kind of the nature of this run game right now. Big game for JMO, 8 catches for 110 yards. Likely was pretty good. Arturo Modelo had a rough game, though. Yes, he scored. He had 5 catches, but he had some blunders, specifically causing the fumble, which led to the scoop and score by Diamador Lenoir. We did stop Deebo Samuel. He only caught 1 pass, albeit it was a touchdown, but Okudah and Lucifer did a great job with him. Defensively, Devin White continues to be an animal. We only allowed 1 sack very early in the game. Our pass rush was a little bit better this week than it was last week, and we forced 3 turnovers. The fumbles continue to be a very common occurrence with this team, and shout out to Cameron Dicker. He almost missed another kick today, but luckily he didn't. Despite all the guys who got banged up today, we have no new major injuries, and for the most part, our team is pretty healthy with the exception of DeAndre Swift. We already looked at all the scores, but here's another look at them again, if you want. As for the players of the week, we've got a pair of Lions with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jack Campbell. And then in the AFC, Mac Jones, 29-31, my goodness, along with Tre'Davious White of the Buffalo Bills. So that'll wrap up today's episode. Next time around, we will face off against a tough 2-3 Washington Commanders team. We're also going to have our first prospect profile of the season. I contemplated doing it today, but we just had a prospect profile yesterday in the Trailblazers franchise, and I didn't really want to do prospect profiles on back-to-back days. Those are a lot of work, and I didn't want to overwork myself, so I figured I would split them up a little bit, and that'll probably be in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed 2 really fun games today, even though we got screwed out of a win against Seattle. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.